Alright, it's Henry again, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the relatively new Gunpla Builders Parts HD hands. And I'm going to be doing the Zeon version hands in this review, 1 to 1/44 and 1 to 100 scale, because they're both relatively the same thing. Alright, first off, as you notice, they come in bags instead of boxes. You get some features on the back. You get 3 different types of hands: closed fists, a trigger finger hand, and an open hand. And you get, for the 1 to 1/44, you get 2 different ball joint sizes, but for the 1 to 100 scale hands, you only get 1 size of ball joints. So let's go ahead and open these up. Now, one thing that caught me by surprise when I first got these is that you actually get 2 full sets of hands per pack. I was under the impression that you were only going to get 1 set of hands, but you actually get 2 sets of hands. So you get, how many is that? 6 and 6, 12 different hands in just this one little pack. Alright, so here they are. These are the 1 to 100 scale hands. As you can see, if my camera will focus, they are very, very nicely detailed. About on the same level of quality that you would see from B-Club's resin HDM hands. Even on the undersides of the hand backings you have mechanical detail. And up under the hand on the back as well. Alright, so these are the 1 to 100 scale hands. Like I said, the 1 to 1/44 scale hands are pretty much the same thing, but I'll go ahead and show you these as well. And there you go. So you can see they're just as detailed as the 1 to 100 scale hands, despite being a smaller size. And you do get a few different options for the ball joints, but I'll show you that in just a minute. Alright, so here's what all the hands are going to look like, fully assembled. So you can see we get 2 sets of closed fists. Well, actually, you do get 2 sets. I only assembled 1 set of each hand. From each pack you will get 2 sets of closed fists, 2 sets of trigger finger hands, and 2 sets of open palms in both the 1 to 1/44 and 1 to 100th and 1 to 1/44 scale packs. Kind of stumbling over my words here. Now, like I said earlier, the 1 to 100 scale hands only come with 1 ball joint size, so that's pretty much it. But luckily they work for pretty much any 1 to 100 scale kit you're going to need them for. The 1 to 1/44 scale hands, on the other hand, come with a larger ball joint, and then they come with a few smaller ball joints, which you may have to use for occasional kits. You'll need these smaller ones for real grades, but I figure most people probably won't want to give up the posability in exchange for better detail on a real grade. But then again, that's just up to you. Like I showed off earlier, the hands are very, very nicely detailed. Even up under the backing, you got some detail under there. And even on the underside here, there's detail. Some people might be a little bit dismayed that they're molded in such a light gray color. But, you know, then again, most people that would buy option hands like this are going to be painting their kits anyway. The ball joints on the 1 to 100 scale hands do go up and down. They're on a little hinge. And here's the 1 to 1/44 scale hand for comparison. As you can see, just as detailed, only in a smaller size. The ball joints on the 1 to 1/44 scale hands do not move, though. They're fixed pose. And it's pretty much the same deal with all of the hands. 1 to 100s all have posable ball joints, and the 1 to 1/44 scale hands do not. However, the 1 to 1/44 scale hands make up for it by having not only different sized ball joints, 2 different sizes of ball joints, but On the trigger finger hands, they have something that the 1/100 scale hands don't. They have this angled ball joint right here. So you can see the 1/100 scale trigger finger hand doesn't have that, although you could move that ball joint to angle it. But then again, it's already molded like that on the 1/144 scale hand. Here's a comparison on a 1/144 scale kit. As you can see, the hands might seem a little bit big, but overall I think they're going to work out okay on your standard sized 1/144 scale kit like a Zaku. But I think the extra detail on these hands is really nice, and I think would work out really nicely with real grade, because despite being fixed pose, they are much more detailed than the hands that come with the real grade kits. And as you can see, the trigger finger hand is able to hold on to the machine gun, although the shoulder joint's kind of loose. The trigger finger hand can hold on to the machine gun nice and tight. It's a little bit loose in there, but you're not going to have any problems with it falling forward at all, so I think it's going to be able to work out just fine. Now for a 1/100 scale comparison, here's the Master Grade Shore Zaku. And honestly, I think they do look a little bit too big. The 1/144 scale hands weren't too bad. They were pretty proportionate with a standard size mobile suit, but these 1/100 scale hands are very big. They look too big for a standard size Zaku or something like that. I think that these would be more suited to a mobile suit like Sinanju or Dom or Sazabi or something along those lines. Theo, perhaps. But they just look kind of like big monkey hands on the Zaku here. Although, you could probably get away with it. I mean, they're big, but they're not that big. But I still think they would be better used on a larger mobile suit like Sinanju or Sazabi. And as you can see, the grip on the machine gun is a little bit loose on the 1/100 scale version. I think that's since the hands are a little bit bigger. But if you just fiddle around with it, you can get it into a position where you can display it. You have to tuck it up under the arm or something. I don't think he's going to be holding it out at full extension at any time. And here's a quick size comparison of the hands of the two kits I just showed off. As you can see, looking at it this way, the Zaku 2.0 hands don't look very much smaller than these Gunpla Builders hands, and the 1/144 scale hands look pretty accurate to the size of the real grade hands. And the question I'm definitely going to be asked is, will these hands work on Master Grade Wing Gundam Verka? And they absolutely will work on Wing Gundam Verka. Any option hands will work on Wing Gundam Verka. That is, if you're okay with Wing Gundam having big monkey gorilla hands, which I am not. Well, that about does it for my review of the Gunpla Builders Parts Zeon hands. And I really like these things. They're not perfect. They do have their faults, but they are really good. I forgot to mention the price. The 1/144 scale hands are 500 yen, and the 1/100 scale hands are 600 yen. And while that may sound a lot, you got to remember what you're getting. You're getting two full sets, two pairs of 3 different kinds of hands, totaling 12 hands per pack, enough for 2 model kits. And they're extraordinarily detailed, better detailed even than B Club's HDM hands. And really the only drawbacks I can think of is that they're not posable, and even then, that's only assuming that you're big on posability rather than detail. And their other drawback, which is the one that kind of turns me off the most, is the weird sizes. The 1/144 scale hands, like I said, are going to be fine with most every mobile suit, but the 1/100 scale hands are a little bit big, and it kind of limits the number of model kits you can use them on. They're absolutely not going to work on smaller kits like stuff from Victory Gundam and F91 and Crossbone Gundam and stuff like that. That's just going to be out of the question. And even they're kind of big for a normal-sized MS like a Zaku or a Hyzak. But overall, I think the good outweighs the bad, and given the price tag and how many hands you get per pack, I think they're a pretty good value. and a really solid release on Bandai's part. So that about does it for this review, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.